Hello, my loves. Hello, all who are out there. Blessings. My name is Mary Jane Tracy. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer. And yes, to those of my Virgos, the sign went crooked again. I haven't gone up on the bed to straighten it out, but you know what? I will eventually. So much with all of these energies. A few weeks ago, I was talking about all the different timelines and everything, and timelines coming in. Now I feel everyone is going on to their timeline, but how I see the timeline is like a conveyor belt. So it's like they're on their moving line, and and moving into the directions that that they need to go into. And as they're moving, it is the pressure. There's pressure that comes in that seems to sometimes feel like it's a squeeze of trying to bring in the formation of other stuff, of other people's pressures or the world's pressures, and all of this coming in. And with Venus squaring on to Saturn, there is a pressure of direction, wanting or looking for direction, questioning that direction, questioning the leaders, questioning that of the collective. So there's a lot of questioning with Venus because Saturn is in Aquarius. So they have that wanting to look things up. Now we are heading towards this full moon, which is next Saturday. And this full moon is with that Venus squaring Saturn. We're coming into secrets and secrets of the past and the struggles. So a lot of secrets are coming up, and some way to help each other out, and embroiled to find a way out. So I feel like we're working into trying to figure a way out and try to look at the pressures that are coming in. Now, if anybody watches spaceweather.com shows us of what's happening with the astrological, with the weathers, out there, the asteroids and the sun. And, the sun is ramping up. There's some flares and everything, and the sun is ramping up. This is a natural occurrence. It does do this, but it is in I think it's a 12,000 year cycle that we're in. And we're also in this other cycle within the sun that is around 100 years old. 100 comes every 100 years or so. And it's pretty dynamic. So we're in this ramping up of energy. And with that, of course, it ramps us up. We feel it, these downloads, as above, so below. It starts to happen. And with that, we have challenges. And with the challenges are, to go through. And the challenges that we're finding are, social and political, and some of them that we have outgrown. So with this, and what Saturn and what, we have that square, and then we have the opposition to Uranus. And Uranus is just ramping up with that Venus energy and getting him all ramped up. Plus he's squaring, he goes over, there's still not exact, but there is that square with Saturn. So there is this ramping up of energy, ramping up of creating something that is new, creating something that is shaking up our money, shaking up our relationships, shaking up our belief systems in the directions of where we want to go. So there's this shaking up, there's this energy, but Venus wants to come in, but she wants to make sure that everything is safe before she does anything. Like, she's just not going to go out and just do some cray kind of shit. She's going to make sure things are safe, that that she has a grounding, a balance within what she's doing. And that's why she's coming in, and she's questioning, and she's pushing her the threshold, or pushing that energy. And she's there till October. I think she's there till October. So she's really pushing this energy because as she's in there, she wants to bring in some change. Now that's what Scorpio does. It wants to bring in change and bring in the truth. And along with that, of course, we are very sensitive. We are feeling emotional, and we are going to be feeling a lot more of the emotional. The moon being in Capricorn wants to bring down, okay, let's bring in some truth to this. Let's bring in some grounding with this energy, because the moon, as it's in there and in Capricorn, it looks at the structures. It looks like it wants to look at things in a organized way. Yet we may be feeling those social pressures that are coming in. Good morning, Tessa. Feeling that pressure that's coming in. And that's what I just get, like a pressure coming in, kind of like a pressure cooker, like coming, and we're feeling it. We're going along our timeline. We're going along our road, our conveyor belt. That's what I see it as. And feeling these pressures that are coming in, but we need to stay on our road. We need to stay on this flow that we are moving through. We need to do that, because if we start to sway, if we start to move from one side or the other, and we start to falter or wiggle around, we're going to find that then all our thoughts and everything else start to wiggle around, and then we really get out of sorts. And especially as we're heading to a full moon in Pisces. Pisces is I feel one of the most sensitive signs of when it comes to emotional energies. And it is one that is looking at the health and looking at the healing. And it's coming into a point that is very much, it's called the Hermetic degree. And as they're meeting in these last degrees, especially as when the moon enters into Pisces, and then it'll do a build up to that full moon. The full moon is going to be full at 5:55 Eastern Standard Time. So this moon is all about change and transformation. We're building up for it. Plus, it's at the last degrees of the last sign. So all of this is building up into this one full moon. And this is where it is ending, birth, new beginnings. And we're feeling it. We're feeling that flow. We're feeling that energy. And as Mars is making aspects over to Venus, she's, there is this mutual reception where they can kind of change and chatter and have a conversation. And Mercury is in between them, and Mercury is in a shadow phase. So information is coming to us. And so this is really important for us to take time to sort of sit and maybe journal, taking some time to sort of breathe and take a look around. This is because Mercury's trying to give us some information, and it's in Libra. So it really wants to communicate. Air signs really do like to communicate and convey the information that they want to tell you. And Mercury being there, it's like this is the last Mercury retrograde of the year, but it's one of the most intense ones because being in Libra. So it's all about the balance. And Libra is also about law. So Mercury's coming in. So there might be something about law. It might be something about legislation that wants to come in. So, and that could be either on the world front or even laws and legislations that you put in within your own life, and the restrictions that you put upon you. So there is this, and Mercury, I mean, this is all about talk. I mean, Mars is in Libra now, and it's all about talking. Let's talk this out. Now, Mars is not a talkative energy. He's a warrior. He doesn't want to talk shit. Like, he just wants to get shit done. Let's go. I've gotten the fine details. I want to go. But here he comes into Libra, and Libra's like, we need to weigh this out. Is this exactly where you want to go? Is this the direction that you want to do? And he's like, oh my God, really? Do we have to fucking talk about this shit? And as Mars moves around, and Mars is going to be in there, and I believe till, I think, November, because he's in there for a bit. As he's going through this, he starts to look across, and, he rules Aries. And there's that Aries energy that starts to come in. Because most of last year, he was in Aries for a good 6 months and retrograded in Aries last year in order to give us the strength and the determination to move forward through all of the chaos and all of the cray that was coming forward for us. And he's looking across, and who's across the way is lovely old Eris. Eris. And Eris is coming, and we have the moon in Capricorn is going to come up, and it's going to conjunct Pluto, and it's going to square off Eris. So there's going to be a lot of internal energy that's going to come in, because Eris doesn't like people who think that they're bigger than themselves. Eris does not like it when you want to put on airs and think that you are just all that and more. Eris doesn't like people who want to show off. That's not her. Eris is a goddess of discord. If you want to show off and you want to be something that you're not, Eris is the one that will pull you back down and say, what the fuck? So we have this energy that's coming in, and this day that gets us to get into the pulsing energy of us, our energy, our movement, our alignment. And oh, my nose just got really itchy. This is coming forth where we are rebirthing or birthing into newness and birthing into new light. And we want to birth this newness into new light because we want to bring in that spiritual connection with the divine, with source, and come in with this to the highest level of expression. There's confusion and there's emotional overload, and this is also coming in where we are at a especially with the sun, and the sun being in Virgo, coming into the health axis. So we're going to start hearing more about health. We're going to start hearing more about things to do with the health and things to do. But here comes Venus, and Venus says, excuse me, what did you say? Because she's questioning the authority. That's what Venus does. Venus does not like to be told what to do when she's in Scorpio. She's going to question the authority. She's going to question what is happening and ask, is it true? Is this really true? Is this really happening? Well, can we have more proof? Can we have others' opinion? Are we able to have a debate on this? She's the inquiry. She's inquiring about wanting to have more information. And that's what you are starting to see. You're starting to see, even in the world front, people are saying, I want more information. I want to hear from other people. Like, I just don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from others. And so she's asking, she's pushing this, and Mars is coming in and saying, yeah, let's get this conversation going. Let's get the information going. So we have this, coming forth, and it's bringing in facts and bringing the facts down, and anything that is misinformation, mistruths, true or not. This is bringing this in, and it's coming in from the higher self. And we're going to see, and especially, because as we're building up to the moon doesn't really tell us everything all at once, right? So it's like, yes, we have that access of build up at 555. on the Monday, on the 20th, but it's the buildup. We start to feel this energy before, and we're going to start feeling this energy starting probably tonight. And as we are moving into the week, we're going to start feeling those rumblings. And this moon has 4 T squares, bringing us to the highest self and the strongest self as we upgrade. Because all of this space weather that's coming in is upgrading us. It is creating electromagnetic energy within us for us to really begin to access more of our internal ability and to be able to come into, whether there's pressure or not upon our timeline, because all the timelines that were coming in were like ones trying to find people and say, this is where you need to go. This is where you go. Some people didn't want to go on the timeline. Some people don't want to go on there. Some people want to stay in on the old track. They want to stay in on the old track. They're in the old paradigm. They're in the old world. They don't want to come into the new one. Whether they're scared or it's too much for them, they don't want to be over there. That's not, and we're seeing it. They're in that South Node Sag energy where it's looking for somebody to come in to be my salvation. That healthcare or that WHO or that person or that one over there is going to save me. They got to know the truth. They're going to lead me to the right way. And here we're going to come in because this is all coming at 27 degrees, the galactic center. Direct access. Now, the galactic center doesn't change. It's at 27 degrees, around there, 25 of Sagittarius. And this is direct access, and it's important. And we have where Jupiter rules Sag. So this is in Jupiter's in Aquarius, and it's coming up to around 23 degrees, I believe. This is expansion. This is our future horizon. This is coming into the future and into our horizon. And as I say that, I see this multitude of the aurora borealis, of all the beautiful colors of the aurora borealis, because it's coming in with this electromagnetic energy that is very multitude of colors and electrodes. Electrodes seem to be coming in, and that's coming from Neptune to jack us up, to get us going, to get us moving. And through that, you might be feeling indigestion. You might be feeling tummy upset. You might be having loose bowels. You might be feeling overwhelmed with it. You might be feeling more nervousness. I mean, Uranus, it's electric magnetic energy in Earth. So you're feeling it, and it might be coming up through your legs. You might be feeling a lot of tingling coming up and down, like little spidey senses coming through your legs. So all of these sensations are coming up through the Earth into us and coming down as above. So this is about bringing in new horizons. This is coming in where we're going to be seeing, and we're already seeing it, freedom, human rights, stepping into power. And that is with Mercury and Eris squaring Pluto. It's this communication, and here he is. And this is going to be one of the first, because he's going to do this 3 times. 3 times from now until he leaves on November 5th, where he's going to be the opposite of Eris, and he's going to square Pluto. So it's going to happen to us 3 times. And Eris is saying, is this truly what you want? She's a very powerful little goddess. She takes longer to go around the Earth than Pluto, but she's brighter than Pluto. They thought that she was bigger than Pluto, but she's not. She's just bright. She just shines a light. That's what she does. And this is where we have the energy about taking it to the streets for equality, because the T square with Venus squaring Saturn and Uranus. And that, when that comes in, and that's on the 17th, that's coming in this week, the 17th of the month. So we have that coming in, and the unsatisfactory of relationships and deadening and freedom and independence. So there's going to be sudden breaks and beginnings that are coming forth. And this is going to come in with currency. So more of that's going to come in October, but we're going to start seeing things coming in about currency and how, and tensions in and around currency and around that of money. And this is where pressure is going to be put on people's freedoms. And that's part of the pressure that's coming in. The pressure of your freedom. The one thing, it doesn't matter. Nobody can change. You got your own thoughts. You have your own connection to your God, to your universe, to your source. Your connection with your divine cannot be severed. Nobody can sever that. That is yours. This earthly walk and this earthly body, yes, there can be pressures and things that are put upon it, but that connection with your divine is your strength, is your salvation. When you are staying within that connection. And with that sun moon square that's going to come in at 29 degrees, it's going to be unraveling, breakdown, South Node Sag, the collective point with the galactic center. This is going to have to do with education, legislation, and religion. We're going to start seeing so much coming out and so much unraveling before us. This is about ethics. And are they working? This is about lawless, the lawless brother of Pluto is going to be making appearance, and his name is Ixon, Ixon, Ixlion, Exlon. He is the brother of Pluto, and he is coming in. He's unraveling. He's doesn't really care. I mean, you thought Pluto and Saturn were bad? You haven't met the brother yet. The brother has a lot of cray-cray going on. And he has a whole mythology behind him where he tried to rape Zeus's wife and he was ousted. Right? You just don't touch Juno. Don't be touching her. That's Zeus's wife, right? So we have him coming in at 0 degrees cardinal world axis in the events on the world stage. And we have him coming in, and as he is coming in, he is going to be breaking down to get us to a different place. It's breakdown and chaos. Here comes him and Callie. This is where we stay strong in our connection. This is where we stay strong with our divine. This is where we come in and we know that as we are in this energy and movement, and we are moving towards something that is better, something that is in alignment and a higher perspective, that doesn't mean that because we're still here to learn, right? We're still here on this earthly walk. We still have shit that we have to do. I mean, but we can do it with an alignment with how we are with our source, with how we are with our connection. We choose how we are going to evolve or how we are going to connect with. And with that, and with that connection, and with that energy, we have where Pluto's brother was starting to come in March of 2020 when everything was being broken down. And as he is at 29 degrees Sagittarius, he's going to go in to Capricorn, and he's going to bring in the unraveling. And that's what he does. And he started to do it in March of last year. And now he's going forward again, and he's going to start doing and going into the Capricorn energy. So Pluto's already there, bringing up truth, bringing up a lot that has to be restructured. Now in comes his lawless brother that is coming into the structures of our world, which is Capricorn. Looking at those structures of what needs to be broken down. This is happening on the 20th. And building up before then. This is starting to build up. We're at the 14th today, so we're going to start feeling it, as I said, starting tomorrow, going in, and as we head in towards the weekend. We need to look at our truth, because even next week we have Libra, the equinox at 12:20 Pacific Standard Time, striking a tuning fork, higher information. This is when on the 22nd is a beautiful day to connect and have group meditations. So building up to that energy for a group meditation, and bringing in the higher-ness, because we're going to be hearing more of assertive outcry for fairness and equality. There's going to be an outcry. We're going to be seeing more protests. We're going to be seeing more people coming out and demanding for change, for fairness and equality for all. This is where we're going to be hearing an Eris is against the elitist. This is where it is a strong, exceptionally strong, of wanting to change. That is changing that reality, changing that which is no longer in alignment. And this doesn't have to be, there is timelines out there that they're not yours. You don't have to go into them. So to get to know what is happening, you can know what's happening, you just don't have to sit there and watch it on the news. And it's happening. And you're not forcing on that. You're not going to be forcing into that. And that's where this comes in. And this is where I'm going to put my energies elsewhere. And that's part, because there's that pressure, and you're going along and you're going to have that pressure, but it's going to say, this is the timeline I want to be on. This is the direction I want to go into. And as I go into this direction, this is going to allow me to have and move to my place that is a place that comes in with emotionally trying to drop into our bliss, and using that moon in Neptune, in using the energy as we're coming forward and moving into this full moon and the frequency. This is about making us go into a higher place, a higher connection into that realm, and creating something that is a connection, because this is a connection with the ones that we want to be with. And Venus and the moon right now take things very serious, very serious. So the energy is there. It's very serious. But this is where we have to look at, where there is no gain talking about in pain. There's no gain when we talk about it when we're in the pain. So it is for us to move from our pain, from the place that we are feeling tied, and moving us to where we want to gain the truth and gain more enlightenment. It is a foundation to build all the beautiful things in our lives. And that's what's coming forth. But it's letting go. And it's like saying, you know what? I create my own happiness. You don't. We can have a relationship, but you don't have to worry about my happiness or my and help me feel good. That's my responsibility. And in doing that and creating that as my responsibility, that means you can create yours. You can create your happiness, your joy, your bliss. without judgment from me or anyone else, because this is you creating that which is true to you. And that's where, when we are making this push and moving towards this incredible full moon in Pisces, we are creating the newness and the joy. And when pain, I wrote this out, when in pain, holding yourself in the resistance stance that does not allow the receiving of the legacy you already carved out. So if you're sitting there in the pain, you're not receiving that of which you've come to do. You're not in that beautiful receiving legacy. You're receiving the universe is here. This is yours. This is for you to have now. You don't have to wait till you die. You don't have to wait till something else happens. You can have it now. So let's create it now. Let's create that joy. Yes, we're not going to focus over there. That's not what we need to do. That's not bringing me joy. That's bringing me frustration. That's bringing me overwhelmness. That's bringing me bullshit. This is where I want to focus on. This is bringing me to my higher self. This is where I want to go. And when we have energy in Pisces, Pisces is connection to source and to that of the all. And that's where we're moving. It's an incredible journey. It's an incredible journey. And it is a beautiful journey. And it is one filled with so much for us all. And so let's step into it. Let's step towards it and embrace the beauty and the joy and the love and the bliss for us all. Have a fabulous day. Make sure you get some time to journal, connect, and go within for a few minutes and connect with your source. And sending you out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, in all that you be, in all that you do. Have a blessed one. And thank you so much for being a part of my coffee in the morning. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.